tell them one thing. Just win, baby.
Adam Schefter reported on Sunday that Oakland is going to be actively looking for a pass rusher and or linebacker on the trade market before the deadline. With the Raiders in contention for an AFC playoff spot, they are looking to bolster the roster by the deadline. After trading away cornerback Jerome Baker to the Texans for a third-round pick, it only makes sense that the Raiders aren't done making moves. With many intriguing names on the trade block, it will be interesting to see who the Raiders may go after. Here are my 5 players the Raiders should target before the trade deadline. Before I get started with this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit that notification icon button just to notify you guys when I upload more videos just like this one. Leonard Williams. The former 6th overall pick in the 2015 NFL draft is a very strong interior pass rusher and wasn't shy about wanting to be a Raider before he was drafted. The Raiders decided to go with Amari Cooper over Williams, but maybe they can right past wrongs. Even though the team may already have some solid interior presence with Hurst and Hall, Williams can help bolster the line to become even more of a threat. He can also come off the edge if needed. So far this season, Williams has only tallied 16 total tackles, and his future as a Jet may be numbered. Leonard Williams would be a huge splash for the Raiders if they were able to pull off a solid trade before the trade deadline. With an expiring contract after the season, I believe at this point the Raiders should only give up no higher than a 3rd round pick. If the Jets were to ask for anything higher than that, then I believe the Raiders would have a better chance signing Williams in the offseason. Yannick Ngakoue. Yannick Ngakoue has proven to be the most consistent threat to sack the quarterback. The Jacksonville Jaguars defensive end has never had less than 8 sacks in a season and went to the Pro Bowl in 2017. The Raiders would kill to have a player who is locked to get at least 8 sacks a season. The Jaguars are struggling and had to trade away Jalen Ramsey. They may not be ready to hit the rebuild button just yet, so Ngakoue will not come cheaply.
Best in the game. Best in the game.
Like Williams, Ngakoue is in his contract year, so that could affect his worth. The only reason Jacksonville would be interested in trading him is because they already have Calais Campbell and Josh Allen. He held out last summer because the Jaguars aren't ready to pay him. This move will make a lot of sense for the Raiders and is a name I believe the nation should consider when looking for a pass rusher. Ngakoue would be my #1 target before the deadline, but it would come at a high price. We'll see if the Raiders would be willing to pay. Vic Beasley. Now, the name that many Raider fans keep harping on is Atlanta's own Vic Beasley. The Falcons are ready to move on from Vic Beasley, and he could come relatively cheap. The NFL sack leader in 2016 hasn't repeated that production at all in the last 2.5 seasons. He's been nothing more than average, one-dimensional pass rusher since. Despite Beasley's status on the trade block and his lack of production, only 1.5 sacks this year. He's on pace for his most total pressures since his 2016 season. He will be looking for a new contract after this season, and that will be tough considering he doesn't have much upside as Leonard or the others on the market. One can argue that he may need a change in scenery, but the most appealing thing about adding Beasley is that he probably only cost a mid-round pick. Unless he can return to his 2016 form, he won't be the answer that solves the Raiders' pass rushing problem, but maybe one of the Raiders' mid-round picks is worth the risk. Jerome Baker. Jerome Baker is a solid young talent that you may question the Dolphins even trading. However, that hasn't stopped them from trading away Laramie Tunsil and Micah Fitzpatrick, and it probably won't stop them if the Raiders offer a nice price for Baker. The second-year former 3rd-round pick has been one of the lone bright spots for the Dolphins. His sideline-to-sideline range and ability to cover running backs and tight ends should interest the Raiders. He fits into an undersized coverage linebacker role that the Raiders are sorely missing. If the Dolphins are really interested in acquiring draft picks at all costs, the Raiders could swap a future 2nd-rounder or a 3rd-rounder plus a late-round pick for Baker. William Jackson III. With big names like Patrick Peterson, Chris Harris Jr., and even Xavier Howard being the forefront of trade rumors, it may come at a high cost that I doubt the Raiders would want to make, especially giving up one of those 2 first-round picks. For that reason, a player like William Jackson III could be an intriguing target. Jackson remains one of the more underrated corners on the trade market and has the versatility to play both inside and outside. The 2016 first-round pick broke out in 2017 with a stellar season in which Pro Football Focus rated him among the best cornerbacks in the NFL. His play is slowly declined since then, but Cincinnati still opted to pick up his 5th-year option for the 2020 season. But given the state of the Bengals team, it's unlikely they hand him money for a second contract. The Raiders could send one of their 3 third-round picks in the upcoming draft for a player who could step in and perhaps even become the best cornerback on the team. I know Gruden has came out and praised his young cornerbacks, giving them an opportunity for more play after the departure of Jerome Baker, but Jackson can come in and fill that spot alongside of Worley real well, and it wouldn't cost the team as much. This definitely could be a steal for the Raiders. Alright, Raider Nation, that is all I have for you guys today. That is my list. Am I missing any other names, or is there any other players that you guys would want to target before the trade deadline? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you guys enjoyed this video, then don't forget to smash that like button. And like I said earlier, if this is the first time you're watching this video and you love this type of content, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit that notification icon button just to notify you guys when I upload more videos just like this one. With that being said, this is your boy Samoa Raider, and your boy is, yeah.